Good morning, guys, and welcome to another Blowdown in Extreme Angling and Marine episode. So yes, we are not in extreme fishing today. We're here with Kevin from Extreme Angling and Marine, and we're going to be talking about what fish are biting, what's been coming out, what fish to target this week. It's our weekly news episode. So thank you for joining us again, Kevin. If you want any fishing supplies, you have to come into Extreme Angling Marine new shop in George in the Garden Route. So if you don't know where the shop is, search for Hope Church. It's just in George in the main road in Courtney Street.
Just across from the main Pick and Pay.
Main Pick and Pay, and behind Hope Church is a little corner. In the corner, it's a big shop. It's a very nice shop. So if you don't know where the shop is, come in and say hi to everyone. There's a couple of nice specials. There's some braid specials running at the moment. What other specials have you got, Kev?
Well, we got on this pen spin fishes 6.5s. We got them on special now for 2,999.
Jeez, that's
normal
a good price.
price was about 3.5. So that's a 500 rand decrease in price. We still got some Horizon number 6s.
And you still got the Assassin Popper balloon as well, guys.
Yeah, we still got limited amount of balloons left. There's not a lot left, but there is still some left.
Yeah, and then you can get a discount up to
100%
discount if you pop a balloon.
There's 5, 10, 20s, 50s, and then 100%.
The 100% has not been popped.
There's 2 being popped already, so there's 1 left.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good time to come and capitalize on that and get your gear sorted. Yeah, there's still a lot of in-store specials. We got some rapid spins, 11 foot, 12 foot, XX heavies, ranging from on the special price for about $1,700 to 1,900. Yeah, and there's we're quite relatively, I think, good priced compared to competition, local competition and so on. So it's a good thing to come in and see what you need.
Come browse.
Yeah, we got it's a nice shop, big space, big browsing space. So you can move around, you can check what's needed, and do some shopping.
Okay, guys. So the fish that's been coming out.
Yeah.
Definitely, we have to talk about shad, and now that's why we've got all of this stuff lying here. So we've got shad. Everybody's catching shad, and you went out for a nice session, quick session down in Buffalo's Bay.
Yeah, we went on Sunday morning. We did an early mission. We did some. We caught some shad, and they weren't heavy on the bite, but there was on the bite. The Saturday there was a lot more bites that the guys were getting, and on Sunday the weather flattened out a bit, the sea flattened out. But yeah, we went.
But everybody, even Vic by Pier, has been producing a lot of shad, and all the guys that has been targeting the shad has been doing really, really well with the shad. So that's why I asked Kevin to come and show us his take or his way to catch shad, because it's actually a nice way for the youngsters. It's a nice type of fish to target with your kids. A lot of action. It's early morning, late afternoon, so you can go for a quick 2-hour session. But there's not a lot of guys that actually know how to make a shad trace or how to go about catching shad. So I decided, let's do, while the shad is in season, while the shad is running, let's get Kevin in here and do his take on how to bait up, what hooks to use, what biting traces to create. So Kev's gonna help us a little bit on that bait presentation and the rig for your shad.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Right there. So I've got 2 basic ways to do it. I've got the way that you tie your steel on, where you use a carbon coated steel or a nylon coated steel, and you use that. So for doing that is we're basically going to go, I like to use a 4.0 kennel round hook. So we're looking at one like that. So my shad trace that I usually do is I use 2 hooks. So we got the 2 hooks, but now to make the trace, you want to bend the backside of your hook. So what's nice about the kennel round hooks is you can bend the eyelet of the hook, and it will still retain most of its strength, so that you don't lose some of the tensile strength in it.
Why do you bend the hook, Kev?
To bend the hook, this is going to be a sliding hook on the trace.
Okay.
So when you
do you bend both?
No, you only
just
bend
the one.
Only the one. So what happens is when it's bent, the hook can slide evenly on the trace.
Because now you've got that hook on an angle, and the line can go through that.
Yes.
If it's straight, then the line can't go through that.
Yeah, then the hook's going to want to pop out the whole time to the side. So all that you're going to do is you're going to take your hook and some pliers, and you're just going to grab the eyelet, and you bend that hook to a 45-degree angle like that. So just to show you guys there. And that's going to be the running guide, or the running hook that goes up and down the trace. And from there, we start with some carbon coated steel. I've got 60 pound.
The carbon coated steel is very important. I know that some of the guys like to fish with a 1 mil leader.
Yeah.
When they don't like the steel.
Yeah.
So you can go with a 1 mil leader. But guys, if you've ever caught shad, if you're new in the game, those fish has got razor sharp teeth.
Yeah, they like to
will
nip you.
bite through. Even that, once you've caught a couple, you can change to a new trace. They will even bite through that. Sometimes they will even bite through, through a coated steel.
Your bigger shad can bite off your 1 mil, 1.2 mil leader lines. It can bite off like a 40, 60 pound, 70 pound steel. They got teeth almost like a shark.
Yes.
And
so be careful when you handle them.
Yeah.
Be very careful when you handle them. Those teeth are really razor sharp.
you also find if a shad nips you, it keeps on bleeding.
Yeah.
It's got like almost like a warfarin effect. So you keep bleeding.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So that's not nice to have, especially along the beach. But you can use it to add some little bit of extra
Flavor.
some juju there to your bait. So if we go into the steel, what I normally do is I like to measure my lengths of my strops with body parts. I'll take like my hand and then I'll measure it out from my fingertips, from there, to my arm.
And you know that's a certain length. That's like a 50, 60.
50, 60 centimeters. This is about 50 centimeters. Now it might look long now, but after you make your knots in the steel,
it's going to become a lot shorter.
Yeah, the main thing about knotting steel is, for me, it is you mustn't be too. You're gonna waste a bit, because if you don't waste a bit, you're gonna varksterk. You're gonna pigtail your.
It's going to kink.
You're gonna kink your steel, yeah.
It's the same what I did when I started fishing grunters. I measured from the tip of my hand to the middle of my chest.
Yeah.
That's about 80 centimeters for me.
Yeah.
So I know that if I go like that, that's 80 centimeters for me. So that it's a nice way. Measure a body part, and then you know exactly what length that is. So if you're looking for 50, 60 centimeters, you know it's from there to there. If you're looking for a little bit longer, take a measurement up to your elbow or up to your shoulder. So you know exactly the lengths that you want to use. You know, that's a very nice tip.
And then all of your strops that you got, you're gonna know is all of them's the same.
Yeah.
There might be a centimeter or two difference between them depending on the knots that you got, but it doesn't have that much of a difference. So what you then do is you take your hook with a straight eyelet there, and you take your steel that you just cut off, and what you do is you do a figure 8 knot. But instead of 3 loops, you can just with the steel do 2.
Okay.
You take a big loop like that, and then you take your loops, so that's one under and over, another one under and over, and you push it through. Hope you guys can see there, but you just push it through. Now what I like to do is I like to unravel the knot. So when you're done, there's going to be your figure 8 sitting there.
See the 8.
So, and then you just pull it tight as you can there with your hand there.
Very, very important what Kevin did there is he pulled the knot tight before he started sliding it down.
Yeah.
He didn't slide it down and then pulled it tight. He pulled it tight on the wire, and then he's going to slide it down.
Because otherwise, if you pull it tight all the way to the bottom on the hook, your wire is going to pull against the eyelet of the hook, and that's going to kink the steel.
Yep.
So what you do then when it's like that, you pull it down all the way down to there where you want to go, and you can just take it in your hand there, and you just give it that last bit of pull there.
You see, no kink.
No kink. And I just take some pliers there and I just pull that tag in so that the knot seats lekker. And your tag in, you can leave a little bit of a tag in, but there we go. So there's your knot made.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then from there, now what you got to do is your hook with a bent eye, you just slide onto your trace. It goes down all the way to the bottom there, but you'll now see if we put it in my mouth like that hook
Can slide freely.
It can slide freely and it's in line with the steel.
Yes.
Otherwise, if it was a bent hook, it's going to sit like that, going up and down. And that just with your
very
bait
smart trick.
presentation
Very
later, it's
smart
going to
trick.
work lekker. Okay, and then from there, what we got is we got some 0.75 leader line.
Maxima Ultra Green.
Maxima, I love my Maxima.
Oh, love my Maxima.
So here again, you measure, normally when you're along the beach or you don't know what the sea conditions are going to be and so, and how deep where you're going to cast. If you're fishing off the rocks, normally it's not going to be such deep water. But now when you fish off the beach, it might be deeper water, there might be a nice big cut there, you don't know where you are. So what I do there is, I make the nylon leader at the back, I do a bit longer.
So you can...
So when I'm at the beach, I can cut it shorter to the situation where I am or the conditions that I am. So what I do there is I just measure off again. So I've got like, John has got like 80 centimeters.
That's about a meter.
I've got about a meter there. And again, you're going to make a knot.
That's a 0.75.
Yeah, that's your 25 kilo 0.75. Yeah.
There you can see the Maxima Ultra Green, 25k, and a 0.75 that he's using that. I like these ones.
Yeah.
When I'm fishing for cracker, I like a 0.75 when I'm fishing. I know a lot of the guys said it's too light.
Yeah.
They go up to 1 mil or 0.80, but the lighter you fish, the more pickups you're going to get.
Yeah.
So,
definitely. I like to fish with this for my cob chasers as well.
Yes, very, very nice. I love my Maxima Ultra Green. You know, I'm catching all my grunters on the Maxima Ultra Green. Galjoen, I use a 0.65.
Yeah.
According to Turkey. That's his favorite. But a 0.75 is a nice all-rounder.
Yeah.
This is something that I always have in my tackle bag. You mentioned now cob fishing, cracker, and Galjoen. It's a little bit heavy for Galjoen, it's a little bit light for cracker, but you'll catch both of them on your 0.75.
That odd fish that comes in that you weren't bargaining for or weren't targeting, they will still be able to bite, and if you play it right, you'll be still able to land that fish. Yeah. Right there. So now you got your nylon piece and you got your steel piece, and one thing that I found is that nowhere on the internet you struggle to find out how to knot the two together. Like your old hands in the fishing, like your more experienced guys, they know how to do it. But you can't find for a new guy on the show or on the starting out, you don't know what to do. So what we got is you got your nylon there, you overlap it, just got to get that doesn't not there. So you overlap the two, and then what you do is you do a figure 8 again, like what you did on the
figure 8 to figure 8.
A figure 8 to figure 8. So you use, instead of on the steel that you got, the same knot that you did on the hook there, you're going to use on your nylon here.
And this is for a lot of the guys, a lot of my friends. They don't fish, but their kids want to fish. A uni knot and a figure 8 knot is one of the two most basic and versatile knots you can use. I mean, if you don't know how to do the Albright knot or the FG knot, you can get away with a figure 8 to figure 8 braid to nylon uni knot. If you do figure 8 to figure 8 on a hook, you can get away with a figure 8 with most of your type of fishing you want to do. You can get away with a figure 8. So a tip there is to learn. If you're a youngster or you're new in fishing, learn the figure 8 or the uni knot. They're basically the same. We did an episode on the two knots. There's a couple of episodes on the channel where you can check out the figure 8 and the uni knot. They actually finish exactly the same. The uni knot and the figure 8.
The big thing is as well is if you can't do the FG knot, or if the FG knot you just can't get it to work right. Fishing for edibles and smaller species, you can use a figure 8 to a uni knot to tie your braid leaders on or your nylon leaders on. So it's two very versatile knots.
Definitely.
The knots that I use the most is a figure 8, a uni knot, and the FG knot.
That's the only three knots that I use.
It's basically, and the more you use it, the more confident you get in it, the more you
eventually you'll be able to do it in the dark. Without even looking.
Yes. Right, guys. So now when you got your steel and your nylon there's the two tag ends, you overlapped it with each other. So now the same with the hook, over and under with the steel, you got your first loop there, and then your second loop, and you push it from the back to the front open, and you just undo the loops. There's your figure 8 again, And now what you do is you just tighten up that knot as best you can there with your fingers for now. And then you turn it all around. And now you got your nylon and your steel. You take your nylon, you also your loop, back from the back to the front, loopy, there's your second loop, there's your 2 loops. Now what I like to do with the nylon is I like to do 3 loops.
Yes.
Even if I tie a hook on or so.
It slips, especially
Yeah.
when you're using thinner nylon.
Yeah.
I also do 3 loops when
Yeah.
I'm doing thinner nylon. The thicker ones you can get away with 2,
Yeah.
but your thinner nylon specifically, I like to do 3 loops.
Yeah, 3 loops is a good thing to do, especially on nylon. Nylon has a tendency it stretches, so when it stretches it thins out a bit, and that can make your knots slip a bit. So that's, if you do it 3 times, you're going to minimize that from happening or eliminate completely. Steel is your carbon coated steels or nylon coated steels are they're hard, they don't stretch at all. So when you tighten up that knot, there's got to be a lot of force on the front to make that.
That's where I prefer the uni,
Yeah,
but we're sticking with the figure 8
we're
now.
sticking with the figure 8.
So I prefer the uni because you can do a lot more. You can go around a lot more with the uni.
Yeah. So there we got our 3 loops from the back to the front. We push it through again. Now when you open up that knot, you're going to sit with the figure 8 like that. It's a little bit different than the one. It's got now almost like a extra twist in it here in the middle. So then when we tighten it up, just pull it with our hands, and there we go. So there your nylon and your steel is. Now what I like to do here is just to tighten up the steel, because you don't want your steel to tangle that or to pigtail. So what you do is you just pull it a little bit so that it just tightens up a bit more. And now the big thing with nylon is it can burn or it can kink as well. So old fisherman's trick, you just wet it. So you just wet it up and then you just pull the 2 together.
That's a figure 8 to figure 8.
That's a figure 8 to figure 8. And then all that you do here is
you can go close there.
You can go close. I always just leave a little bit of a.
If it pulls, then it just have that little bit.
The reason why I leave a little bit of tag in there is you'll see now when we put on the float is going to sit. Let's do it now.
Kev, do you always fish with a float? Let's ask that question.
When
do you fish with a float?
The nice thing about this is, let me tell you like this. The nice thing about this trace is you can do this trace and you can use it without the float on the beach to fish for bottom fish. So you can use this trace to target cob and smaller shark species as well.
I just wanted to say, a raggy, you'll be fine with that trace for a raggy as well.
You'll be able to pick up a raggy or a small bronzy or so.
Because you've got your biting trace in the front.
A raggy is just sometimes prone to swim in under you, so then it will bite you off on the nylon or so. But if you keep that tension on the fish, you would be able to land that fish. So it's a nice versatile trace to make.
Oh, very nice.
And if you want to make a single trace, you can just, instead of J hooks, you can put a circle hook at the bottom.
And then you just snell it.
And then you just snell that hook, and then you use it as it is there. Then you don't have to put on a float. You can use thicker steel in the same principle that we're doing here, and you can use that to target your bigger non-eds and that type of fish. So then all that we've got to do here is we take our nylon and we push it through the float. So now we take it all the way back, and then here at the bottom you'll see the knot is now like the stopper. What you can do is you can put your tag in there and you can just pull it a little bit tighter, then you pull the knot into the float.
And then that float's going to stay there.
The float's going to stay there. So now what happens is your float is floating at the top here, but your bait and your bait is on the hook at the bottom. So what happens is this floats and goes up and down in the water naturally, like a dead fish or like something that looks like there's nothing keeping it, and as it goes. So that's basically the shad trace when you build your steel, done and dusted. What I'm going to show you guys as well is an easier way to do this with a few basic things that you can buy at the shop.
Yeah.
That we've got in stock as well.
Sorry, Kev, before we go. So from here on, you're going to go swivel.
Yeah, swivel, and then
3-way.
You can go 3-way, or you can go a single swivel, and you can just tie your hooks, your sinker strap to that 1-way swivel as well, or you can go 3-way to your swivel.
Okay.
Or if you're fishing a sliding swivel, you're just going to put your swivel, your leader line with your sliding sinker is going to be on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's your setup. The first setup that he showed us now, and you're just going to go swivel. And on your you can do either sliding, like Kev said now, you can do either sliding with swivel on a sinker trace strap, and or you can do 3-way on that one.
Yeah, nipped me. Okay, so what we got here, we got Lynx's nylon coated black steel. So this is your pre-made
Biting trace.
biting traces that you've got. Now, I like to use the number, this is the 9-inch. You get it in a 6-inch, 9-inch and a 12-inch. Now the 9 inches for me is the ideal length that you got. So it's already got a swivel there at the top. And then you got it's bent and bound. I know a lot of you guys will probably know about it, has already used it. And it's got this clip here. Now the clip is, for me, is the weakest part of the strap. This is a 40-pound steel that it's made of. So what I do with this is take a side cutter and I cut off this part, your clip at the front. This isn't necessary what you want to do with it. Right, so the other hooks, if you don't want to bend your kennel round hooks, you already got your BKK octopus beaks that you got. So they already got the eyes bent.
It's already bent.
Already bent. It's like a strong hook. It's a black nickel coating on them. So let's say you take 2 of those hooks. There you'll guys see the eye is already bent a bit. And what we do there is, now because you already got the swivel on this side, you're first going to put on your sliding hook. Just got to bend that like it fits through. This is a 4-0. I like to use 4-0s for shad. So that then runs on the hook there. And then on this side, you push the bottom part through. Now where the clip was sitting, there's a little loop there. And that loop, you just put the hook's point through that, run it around over it, and then you pull that binded piece through the eyelet. Just got to get it there that
it's like you used to. It's like when you made just a little loop and you put it through the sinker and you loop it through the sinker.
Yeah,
it's the same principle.
It's the same principle.
There's a loop on the end. Push it through the hook. Pull the loop tight.
Yeah. So what you're sitting there is there's your hook that's now black and sitting like that. So you got, what this does is as well, it gives a little bit of stiffness to the back part of the hook. So when you're going to tie on your sardine on here, it's just going to sit. It's going to sit more uniformly. It's got a more like a stiffer base to adhere to. So there you got your running hook on your hook there, quick and easy. Now from here you're going to just put your 0.75 or your 0.80 leader line on.
Exactly the same as you did here with the figure 8, but you don't have a figure 8 to figure 8, you've got a swivel.
You got a swivel there. And you put your float on. So that's a quick and easy way to quickly make, even if you're next to the beach and you see the shad biting and you got the stuff in your bag, there we go.
You don't need a lot of, you basically need a side cutter. That's all you need.
Basically a side cutter. Those clips, with some effort you can unclip them.
Oh.
But they're gonna...
Got a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's got a small clippy there that you can unclip. But I think, yeah, it's a...
I see. So they're going to be a little bit difficult to unclip it.
Yeah, if you've got big hands or soft hands, you're going to struggle.
I won't have that problem. I don't have big hands.
Right there. So if we work on the trace that we made, let's say we work on this one here. So there's your kennel rounds. There we go. Now, just got to see. So there's your sardine. got some nice fresh, nicely frozen sardines here. Tried to defrost them in time, but we got them. So basically when you got it like that, I'm just going to cut on the box. Don't cut holes in the table. So when you work like that, what I like to do is on a bait like that is you can build a nice big bait. Now sardine normally in a school of fish, so they go and they nibble, so you'll feel the whole time in your line it goes and then either all your bait's off or there's one hanging, or you can feel it pulls you flat. So with a shad, I like to fish with a bigger bait.
It's
Just
more for the nibblers.
Yeah, a little bit more. So what we do is we just cut off the tail part, and I like to cut off the head just behind the gill plate. So that we're not going to use.
Discard.
You can discard that. And then on your sardine on the back side, you're going to cut it on the top. Right through.
Right through.
You can just leave a little bit, but all the way from the back. So, so there we got our pilly cut through all the way there. What we do then is you take your number 4, the bottom hook, the one that you tied on with a figure 8 knot, and you just put that hook in there. Now what's nice is if the shad is a little bit slow on the bite, you can take the sardine bait and you can turn it inside out. More flavor. Just so the flavor gets released a little bit quicker. So then what we do is you got your sardine there, got some nice cotton.
What cotton? Medium, light?
My favorite to use is a medium cotton.
I also prefer medium. Your light is just, it's very thin.
Yeah.
And your heavy is, I would only use heavy for sharks.
Yeah, the heavy and the thick is like more like a shark one, where you got to tighten up that big frozen baits. Yeah, sardine when it defrosts melts basically to the form that gets very soft. So what you do is you just take your cotton there and you just wrap it nicely up there.
You're just closing it up.
Yeah, you're just closing it up like a sardine sandwich there. Oops.
It's a nice smell.
Yeah. So you can decide how much you want to tighten this up.
They're not going to be really fussy about the amount of cotton. It's not like a galjoen that you don't.
Aren't you going to go and use it now?
It's raining today, so I can't use it today.
Right there. So now you got the sliding hook still here at the top. So what I do with this hook is I take it with a bit of a loop, and here in the opening of the sardine, I just put it in there.
Under the cotton.
Under the cotton, and then I just push it through the flesh so that it sits there.
A skellemoekie.
A skellemoekie. And then you just push the shank just there where you had it in, and you can just tighten it up again there. Now, the other thing that I like to do is, because sardine is such a soft bait, is when you wrapped it now horizontally, I take it vertically as well. Just like a few there, just so that with the casting you don't cast off the whole bait.
Nice little handy tip there.
Yeah, just to keep it. It's the same thing when you're fishing with a dingle dangle or fishing with circle hooks. You want to just do it both sides to keep it on the dangle or to keep it on the hook.
That's a very nice.
So
I must say, I've caught a lot of grunters on pilchards, and I must say I'm tempted to try this on for grunter fishing.
You can use smaller hooks on this just with nylon, where you don't have to use the steel.
Yeah.
You use semi 2.0 or 3.0 J hook, and you do the exact same thing as what I did here with the skellemoekie on there, and yeah,
I must say I'm tempted to try this on my next grunter mission to see how it goes for grunter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a beautiful bait and it's a beautiful trace. So yeah, thank you so much, Kev.
Yeah, big pleasure.
Guys, if you want the best bait, the freshest bait, come into the store. If you want advice, yesterday I was in store and Kevin even rigged up a couple of these for some anglers that wanted to go out shad fishing. But now you know, and now you've seen how to do it. So Kevin, you don't have to rig it up. You can just say to them, go and watch the video.
Yeah.
And guys, yes, we are so close to 100,000 subscribers. So we're in the 97,000 now. So please, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the video, to the channel, go and subscribe. Plenty more episodes like this coming out. We want to start building into the summer where we do cob bait presentations, garrick bait presentations, how you can, different ways to hook your mullet, because there's a lot of ways, and not, I always say, this isn't necessarily the best way, but this is how Kevin does it, and it was working for him on Sunday when he went out, so caught a couple of really nice shad. So come in, get your traces, come in, get your bites, and go and catch that fish. See you in the next episode.
Cheers, guys.